Yo guys, this is Bobby from the Bench Podcast. Go ahead and follow 14HQ and the Bench Podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts to keep up with all the latest episodes and updates. And don't forget to check us out on YouTube as well. Now, without further ado, grab your boots. You're coming on. Ref, what's up, please? Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another episode of the Blood Clot Benched Podcast. We are in the lead up to the World Cup, man. It's finally here, bro. We've been talking about it for the last few months and stuff, but it's finally here. Qatar is around. Well, actually, by the time this comes out, Qatar is here.
It's going to be kicked off already, man.
It would have been kicked off, man. But obviously, football ended last week. Obviously, it's the last week of domestic football, Champions League and all that kind of stuff.
Quick break.
I believe like League One, League Two and all that.
Yeah.
All them man are still playing.
Wickham are playing today.
Cheers! Shout out the Wanderers. What? I want to say the Swans.
Yeah. Nah, the Wanderers.
The Wanderers. They got a swan on their band.
Yeah, Swans on there. Everybody.
Yeah, I don't know them ones.
But you don't know about Wickham, Charles?
I know about Wickham, but I don't know what they're called.
Yeah, the Wanderers.
The Wickham Wanderers. Shout out my cousin. But yeah. Which means it can only mean one thing, mate. The World Cup is here, but someone had something to say, didn't they, mate? You couldn't just let domestic football just take a break for a second. But we will get onto that. But before we get onto that, let's introduce my trusted co-host, Mr. Charles. What are you telling me, bro?
Good, man. I'm all right. I got here eventually, man. Flipping cab driver took me the wrong way, innit? Tried to take me to Tim Hortons.
Man, like Waze.
It's not time to eat. Nah, he wasn't on Waze. He was on Google Maps, bro. Rubbish, man. He didn't take me in the right complex at all. But yeah, we here.
Waze, if you're listening, sponsor us, mate.
Innit?
And now for his, I want to say third cap?
Third appearance.
Third cap. I love it, mate.
Running it back.
New youngster on the block anyway.
Running it back.
Man like Romario. What are you telling me, bro?
Yeah, we're here, bruv. Looking forward to this one, man. It's a good one. Let's go.
It's a good one. And we have a guest. We brought a specialist for this one.
Oh, who'd you bring?
An absolute specialist,
Who'd you bring?
We brought the lovely...
Who's this?
From Westside Radio.
Oi.
Oh, yeah.
Now of Capital Xtra.
Oh, yeah.
Man like Jojo Silva.
Inside
What you telling me, Joe? You cool?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm happy to be here. I feel like I manifested this.
You
did,
sure?
man.
You sure you want to be here?
Yeah, Joe
Listen.
been knocking on the door for a minute.
Since this
nigga.
started, I've been talking about like, get me on. When it's the Ronaldo episode, get me on. It's been months. I'm here. I'm ready.
Welcome.
To be fair, it's been like...
Thank you very much.
Joe was saying like she wanted to come on, and I was like, "Yo, okay, cool. When the right Ronaldo thing happens, don't worry." And I can't lie, I couldn't have predicted that this was going to be the
first
moment.
in line.
Or this was going to be the reason that I thought it might have been like him maybe leaving United, or well, I guess technically is, or like him scoring a record goal, or lifting a trophy or something like this. But
you had to get the digging early, innit?
No. I'm just saying. I thought that would have been the reason why. I just didn't think it would have been like a bombshell.
That was genuine from Bob. I felt that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Bro, this one started already. But,
Ronaldo said now is the time to speak.
Yeah, exactly. That's
So
why
here comes Jojo to come and speak.
So here I am back in the ting.
No,
Get
for real,
me.
there's no one better that I'd rather talk to about this. So let's get into it, guys. Now, Rom, it's actually good that you're here because you have a bit of an insider.
Oh, yeah.
He was in the building, mate. He's on the inside of this building, mate. But yeah, okay, guys. Initial reaction, yeah. Obviously, I saw this maybe Saturday, maybe.
Yes, sir.
The tweets started coming out about like, yo, he's done this mad interview, and then obviously Sunday the initial clips came out like 10 p.m, which is crazy.
1-2 teasers, innit?
But yeah, by the way, for them to even be like, yo, 10 p.m. we're gonna put out teasers on a Sunday, and it still go crazy, is speaks volumes for the magnitude of this interview. So guys, I just want to know what your initial reactions were to this. Charles, let's go you first.
It was like, okay, this is his side now, because there's always three sides to every story, innit? Their side, this side, and the truth. And obviously with the media,
That was
that
deeper.
down.
That was
You get it?
deeper.
you get it?
Have you had a coffee this morning? Have you had a coffee?
Not a coffee, but I popped the Red Bull in it.
That was
Popped
clean.
the
I
Red
can't
Bull, no
lie.
breakfast, man. I
No.
overslept,
Bro,
but
that was clean. I can't
yeah,
lie.
no, like what was I gonna say? Yeah, no, it was interesting to hear his side. But like I step back from it, like we can get into like the little intricate details of it like later on as we go along. But I kind of step back thinking like, how much of that do I really believe? There's certainly some stuff in there that he said that like there's no like, especially when we're talking about like his kids and like his family and all them things, that I can't dispute that. I can't deny any of that. Like I 100% believe that. But there were certain things, there were certain holes in the interview. Especially like on Piers' part where he didn't really have any pushback, or he didn't really like ask him any difficult questions. I don't think. I feel like I feel like them two like briefed each other before.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool. These are the questions that I'm comfortable asking. So Piers like, all right, cool. Like it's no problem to him. Like he's got Ronaldo on his thing and he's the most followed person on Instagram and he's got the big scoop. Do you know what I mean? Like he hasn't gone to Sky Sports or Talk Sport or anything like that to go and have the interview. So yeah, I think Piers made it very comfortable for him, and yeah, Ronaldo only really answered the questions that he wanted to answer, and yeah, I was just wondering, like, after both parts of it, even after the first part, like obviously it got released in 2 parts, innit? How much of it do I?
2-part documentary.
How much of it?
break the brick down. Break it down.
How much of it do I really believe?
Yeah. There's still even like, to this point, I guess there's still questions to be asked, because you make a good point about the thing you said about their side, this side, and the truth. So yeah, but Ron, what about you, bro? What was your initial reaction, bro?
Obviously, so as you said, I was sort of involved with the process, and we got an email.
Come on.
Quick plug. I work for TalkSport instead of But yeah, our manager messaged the chat and basically said, yeah, Piers Morgan's done an interview with Ronaldo, come out of nowhere, and just said, look, we need to get these clips out. Talk TV sent it, and obviously the numbers it done on TalkSport was crazy. Like you said, it's on a Sunday, Monday sort of time, which isn't the most popping, and it's done like over 500k views overnight. Like,
yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Everyone wanted this.
Next
video.
day, people like even like the big podcast, Rio and them man, all on it, bro. It's crazy.
It's gold for socials because everyone talks about Ronaldo. Charles said he's the most followed. So like when Ronaldo speaks,
He is, I can confirm.
he is. When he speaks, you listen. It's like Beckham or Ronaldinho coming out and dropping a show in their time.
Yeah.
That part
this
one's
is-
got 4.1 million views.
Yeah,
Jeez.
see, it's incredible, bro. It's
Suey.
incredible.
Nah, that is incredible. Jojo, what about you? Obviously, because I know you've got a lot of like you're a fan of Ronaldo, like
Am
super
I-
fan of Ronaldo.
I'm
got
a
the OG
super-
top
I'm a
on.
su- I'm a
Yeah.
super fan.
She got the
of
number
what?
17. She ain't even got number 7 on, man. She got the number 17 on.
And do you know what? The only reason I didn't bring my Sporting Lisbon top was because I don't fit in it no more.
Sporting.
Otherwise, that would have been on represented. How did I feel? To be honest, when you're a super fan and you're a Ronaldo super fan, you gotta get ready for war. When these things come out, you got
true.
you're ready to battle. And to be honest, I kind of took a break from socials, man, because I knew it was gonna be peak. I knew. So I took a break. I did my thing. Yeah, I'm getting ready for battle right now, to be fair.
Yeah, and I feel like the initial comments were, I think the reason why it was so good and it was so like fucking captivating, because obviously the initial comments that we saw, so obviously the Eric Ten Hag comments when he said about that they didn't respect each other, basically is what he was saying. Obviously the comments about United as a whole, about the Glazers and how they might only see it as a marketing club. I think they picked the snippets perfectly.
Yeah.
Like when he was like coming out and dissing, or apparently he was saying like dissing Neville and Rooney and stuff like that. And then obviously I think the thing that really got people talking the most was when he said about the facilities and the technology at United. Now let's get into like the nitty gritty of the interview. Let's talk about that moment in particular. Yeah, obviously the fans have obviously always said, oh yo, the stuff has not changed. Nothing's changed from the time Fergie, and there's been loads of conversations about that.
Like
anyway.
the stadium's old, it needs repair, it needs renovating.
Yeah, so first and foremost, what stance should the fans take if he's saying stuff like that they've been saying, but he's just now saying it? Like, why are people shouldn't be mad at him for doing that stuff?
I was listening to the radio the other day, and Souness and Keown was like, there's like an unwritten rule. Nothing that's in the dressing room gets said outside. So he's broken that sort of, it's like us guys, if we...
I strike one.
Yeah, like he's done the sort of
From the
pagan.
old school man as well, yeah.
You know the old school man, like what happens here stays here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's sort of broken that, but I think Ronaldo's at a point where he's like, look, I'm Cristiano Ronaldo, and he can say that. He is, with Messi, arguably the greatest player of all time.
Yeah.
So in his head, none of us really know how that feels. So maybe
That's fucking true, actually.
Maybe he's
like,
just,
fuck you lot, man. I'll do what I want.
I'm bigger than you, man. I think he thinks he's bigger than Man United.
Big man thing,
He
you know.
thinks he's bigger than Man United.
I think he does.
And
Yeah.
maybe
I think
he
he
is. Maybe he is. He's probably got as much money as most of the playing staff. Like, it's the ego in it. And when you're Cristiano Ronaldo, and we know what he's like, he's different to Messi. He loves it. He loves scoring a goal. His chest is out.
Yeah, he does love it.
He's like, you know what? forget you, man. I'm exposing.
I'm just gonna say how it is.
I love it.
What was Mum saying? Mum was saying the gym is the same.
You said the kitchen, it doesn't change.
The person's.
I'm away 13, 14 years. The same kitchen, the same chefs.
Yeah, it's disrespectful. I can't lie. It was rude to the chefs. The chefs like, what you say for people?
No, he said they're lovely people.
Yeah,
Can we
did.
just?
He did back
He said,
then.
You know
they're
that
lovely
50 Cent clip? He said, I woke up, why Floyd say fuck me for?
Yeah, that was. They caught us stray.
Yeah, no. So, well, to be fair, obviously he's gone around the world, done his thing. Obviously, came back as the greatest player ever. Do you think he, like you said, that's such an interesting point that you were saying. Do you think that he thinks he's bigger than the club at this point?
I think the fact that he came out and he broke that unspoken rule, 1,000% he thinks he's bigger than the club. 1,000%.
Yeah, that interview, like, you wouldn't do, not like it's not a normal player that could do that interview.
Like Rashford would
even
do that.
even the last,
No way.
yeah, the last.
Lingard wouldn't do
Rashford.
that.
Do you know what I mean? The
No
last,
way.
Lingard's had beef there as well.
the last maybe big interview like that, or like interview on that kind of level that came, not even on that level, but the same kind of thing was Lukaku for Sky Sports.
Yeah,
do you know what I
Lukaku,
mean? No one's gonna go outside of sport to Piers Morgan. Do you know what I mean? Only Ronaldo's gonna do that. He's done an interview with him before, innit? He done one back in the day, but yeah, there's not a lot of player. I don't think there's any player. I can't really think of any. Neymar, maybe, but Neymar don't even speak English.
He sort of had the Netflix documentary.
Do you understand?
sort of,
But you have
he was
to be.
he was throwing shade in it.
You have to be of
yeah.
a certain ilk, a certain standard, certain level to come out and be talking to Piers Morgan. Do you know what I mean? About the club as well.
And to be prepared to face the legal action that follows. Yeah.
And they said he's going to lose 16 mil apparently. But we'll get
Light
into
That's
that.
work.
light. He can go,
Light
yeah.
work.
He's licking his palm and going,
What did he say?
You want 16 mil? He's 17.
Hold
my
that.
friend.
What
How
did
they
he say?
change?
What Piers Morgan asked that, have you got as much money as you got followers?
Yeah,
He
yeah,
was like,
that-
yeah, maybe. That's what it's
Bro,
come
we
for.
don't care. Well, just on what Charles was saying though, on about how Ronaldo's, he's sort of like, I don't know, he's sort of had enough and he's just gone for it, and he's gone to Piers Morgan, not a sports outlet. They're celebrity. This is what I mean. He's almost
Yeah, that's a
gone
good point.
bigger than the sport. He knows. If I talk this, it was front page news. You go on all the newspapers the next morning, Ronaldo's front page. This isn't a sports story. This is like news.
Transcends the sport, doesn't it?
Come on, bro.
So let's talk, going back to the facilities and stuff like that. He said some very interesting things in particular about his time at the club. Obviously, he said Ollie was a good coach. And I think it's funny because he didn't actually say he was a good coach, innit? I mean, he's a nice guy. He'll have a good career. But
He starts me.
yeah, he said, I think he's a good, I mean, he's a nice guy and that, but and obviously that comes into the point where obviously he got sacked and then Rangnick was come in. I think that, what do you guys think about what he was saying in that regard? Obviously he was just basically just calling out Rangnick saying, yo, that guy didn't know he was on it.
Listen to the names that he's worked with.
Yeah, he
Run
listed
off the
them as well.
names. Come
He
on.
did.
man.
He said
Come on.
Who's Ralph
Zidane,
Really?
Ancelotti, all of these man, Alex Ferguson, rare. But to be honest, like that kind of stuff wasn't like some of those in regards to that. Some of the stuff that he said wasn't really anything that any of us fans looking on the outside didn't know.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
I think it was just compelling to hear him say it, to be like, yo, this guy was on niche.
We're
fam.
not assuming he thinks it. He's saying it now.
And
Yeah.
Bob, you hit a good point there, because a lot of the time when we see players in interviews, when they get a new manager, the interview will say, how do you feel about the new manager? They're always like, yeah, I'm looking forward to working with the coach. Ronaldo come out and say, when he come out, I didn't even know he was. And he just said it. So when he
Man
come,
said he's
we
a
know.
sport director. Why you're not even a coach?
You're not even a coach. So he's sitting in the dressing room when Rangnick's naming the team. He's looking at man and he's saying, yo, I do not rate you, bro. You don't rate him, innit? So
I love it.
yeah, it's good, man. I like the
I love
honesty.
it.
I like the honesty. I live for it.
So far, what I'm feeling from everyone, we're not mad at him. We're not too mad at him.
Nah, man. More players need to. Well, not more players need to do this, because not everyone's Ronaldo, but it's honesty is
Oh
good.
yeah.
I'm a little bit disappointed in
Charles.
in the thing as a whole.
I am
In the
as
thing as a-
well.
No,
I
I'm
am as well.
disappointed still.
I am as well.
I'm disappointed. He didn't have to go out like that. He essentially pressed the self-destruct button.
He did.
Because he wasn't getting his way at Man United, innit? He pressed the self-destruct button. He knew that after that interview, he was talking about, maybe I have to go back to United and see out my contract, rare. Bro, he knew he was out of there. That was like,
I
get
think
me
he
out
wanted
of
that
here.
though. I think he wanted that.
Ejecto-cito.
Yeah. I
That's
think
what
that
he
was
on.
his strategy to leave. 1,000%. The timing of it, everything, that was a strategy for him to leave, because
100.
everybody knows he wasn't happy.
Yeah.
Everybody knows he wasn't getting his own way. And if Ronaldo don't get his own way, it's game over really. So I think that was strategically timed so that he could just World Cup, and then when I'm back, boom, I'm done with you lot.
Do you get it? He's not gonna drop.
Have Christmas off,
fam. He's not gonna drop that like after Man United play a Saturday Sunday game. He's not gonna drop that on the Monday and then have to go into Old Trafford or Carrington or whatever and do training that the next day, bro. He's gonna wait for a little break. Even if it was like if it was in another league, let's say if it was in the Spanish league, he'd do it where they have the little 2-week break over the winter, and then boom, maybe they might get rid of him. But like obviously he's fortunate we got this World Cup, so he can just drop it on the eve of that, do the World Cup like you say with Portugal, and then come back and then he's just got a new situation.
That's it.
He's laughing, man. So guys, I just want to talk to you about what he was saying about the young players as well. And I think the only one he kind of came out and named and said like, yo, this guy could go to the top. Which I wanted him to name a couple of other man, but he named Dallo.
Him to name the English man.
You know that Mourinho meme? You know that Mourinho meme where he flings off the thing, he fucking Dallo, bro.
Dallo's a bad boy now.
He's all right.
Maybe not a bad boy.
Dallo. I wanted him to say someone's cool, man. You know what I mean?
You wanted him to say Sancho. Don't take it seriously.
Not Sancho. He could have said the kid that's been scoring for them recently. What's his name? Garnacho. He could have said someone like that, but maybe that's a little bit early
he
to.
went to say
Yeah, but he went Portuguese. That's it.
He went for his boy, man.
Do you know what I'm saying? You have to uplift your own. It's true. We saw that when we went to watch them play Brighton.
Yes. Yeah,
Right?
Yeah, it was an interesting observation.
And it was very interesting observation that there were like cliques. There were like groups of United players warming up.
Oh, really?
And at no point did they really
100%,
interact.
so.
And it was like all the Portuguese guys were together. All the English guys were together. And then it was like everybody else.
And it's funny as well, it was like the white English guys as well. So it was like Shaw
and McTominay.
And then it was like Rashford, Sancho.
There were subcultures in that.
It was very interesting.
100%.
Who else was there at the time? It would have been
Martinez,
Telles, Bruno, Ronaldo, all them man were like doing that. You know when they do them break off to the little rondos?
Yeah.
It was actually very interesting.
I think there's a little. I think they're all a bit. They all admire Ronaldo a bit. Especially, I remember like I see Ronaldo score goals last year, and I'm seeing Sancho do like the C with him and that. And I don't know if you're in a team with a player, you got to see him as on a level. When you put man on that little pedestal, because when you're playing football, you're gonna be double thinking yourself. You're gonna be like, Ronaldo wants it, I better do it. So you're not playing naturally. Like I don't know. I'm just not on this like. Celebrating man's doing C or so.
He's the GOAT though, man. He's one of the GOATs.
No, I get it.
He's in that bracket.
I get it.
That's probably 1 or 2, 3 players you could probably allow that to. But he's probably one of them.
This is why I think it didn't work, because I think these men aren't quite on that level. You see how Messi is playing with Mbappe?
The drop off was too much.
Mbappe believes he's with them, man. Mbappe doesn't think, oh my God, it's Messi, it's Ronaldo. Mbappe in his head thinks, I'm better than you. He genuinely believes
But that's what's wrong. That's what's wrong with this generation. And that's what he was talking about in the interview.
Yeah, they're not hungry.
That is what's wrong. They're not hungry for it.
Yeah.
They're not. How dare you? I've said this before off mic, and I'm going to say it again. Yeah. None of them lot on that pitch, none of them are fit to play near Cristiano, let alone with him.
Wow.
I'm just saying, I'm a drop him. I'm not near him.
That's it. I said, go Newcastle.
No way. I've said it off mic. I had to use my opportunity to say it.
Can we have names?
Nah, none of them are.
None of them.
Oh, we're talking about Cristiano Ronaldo. The best, in my opinion, obviously, other than Messi, the best to ever play football.
Yeah.
And we're talking about. Like what?
Yeah.
No way.
I don't think we're gonna wrestle like that.
All right, fine. Maguire. Perfect example. You're telling me, and I've said this, I've had this issue for such a long time. Who on earth is Maguire to captain a Cristiano Ronaldo?
Great point.
Sorry, I've been saying that from day one. Who does Maguire actually think he is? What leadership has he shown? What has he actually won?
He's got a big head.
No way. I've been saying it. I think Ronaldo should have been captain from day.
Yeah, he should. You can't. This is the other thing. You can't bring a player that big into a club that he's got so much weight in and be captained by Harry Maguire.
And then Maguire's your captain.
It's never going to work. It's a recipe for disaster.
Get out of here.
It is a recipe for disaster.
Wait, if he came straight in, would you have to make him captain?
What, Sui?
That's what should have happened.
Bro, he's Ronaldo.
Arguably.
That's what should have happened. He's captained Portugal before.
Well,
I'd argue that might be counterproductive.
Yeah.
I mean, judging by what has happened to United, I think anything else would have been better than what's happened.
Yeah, that's the thing. Based off what we see, we've got the evidence. It clearly didn't work, him being captained by Maguire. Maguire fell off because he wasn't this bad before Ronaldo come. He was shaky.
I think it might have actually been that kind of pressure. Like, yo, okay, fucking hell. Like, we finished second. We're in the Champions League now. We just put in fucking Ronaldo.
And Sancho
we
and
actually have to go to the next level.
The
now.
level Varane's come in a World Cup winner.
I can't just be good. I have to be exceptional now. So maybe he crumbled now.
He's just not exceptional.
Yeah,
he's not.
He's just not even good.
An exceptional one. Yeah. So no,
but a little bit about what Ronaldo said about the young players. It was a little bit old manish. It was a little bit old man. You know how like Souness and all them, man, like, it's different for these players now and rare. I got a little bit of that from Ronaldo. Like, some of these guys, they will be playing into their 30s. He was like, yo, these guys aren't going to be playing into their 30s, whatever. Some of them will be, definitely, like, whether it's players from that specific team, but I took what he said like as across a whole generation of players, not just who's playing alongside him at Man United, innit?
Because he even referenced his son. He was even saying how his son, he's got it easy, saying kids these days, they have everything.
But it's a totally different time that they're coming up with, like with social media, like even more impactful than it was maybe when he was like halfway through his career, let's say. Like, it's a completely different time, innit? So like there's completely different stuff that these new players have access to or are allowed to do, or like the game develops, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think it's right for him to be like, none of these players are gonna make it, or none of these players have the drive or whatever. Like, some of their motivations might be a little bit different to his.
True.
Of
That's
course,
that's very subjective.
but yeah, the passion and that, I do think the overall drive for the game is still there, but it's displayed in a different way.
Yeah.
You get it?
I get it. It's like we had to do this, but because you man don't have to do this, it's like
do you get it? Sorry, it's not the 70s.
When I was your age, I had a house.
Yeah, man, all of that kind of stuff
It's like
there.
kids these days when people say that, innit? It's generic.
Showing his age.
You know what was very interesting for me about that quick section actually, you saying about it, the players that he mentioned that like he looked up to when he was at United, when he said Roy Keane's the best captain he's had at any club.
He said he followed them, innit? Skulls, gigs. That's what he said.
And he mentioned Rio as well. So I think that's why Rio's still trying to back him.
Yeah.
He got the little plug. He got the Ronaldo co-sign.
I think him and Rio were neighbours.
Yeah. So that was actually really, like, that stuff like that. Where I'm like, okay, cool. That's super insightful.
Do you know what it is? I'll say Charles is right. I don't like it when these older players say, he don't care because he does this. Like, let man live in it. But if you do want to get to Ronaldo's level, you should probably watch what he does.
Yeah, you do have to move a bit different. You do have to move different.
You do have to sacrifice. Like, some of these players at United, like Joe just saying, they won't reach like Champions League winning level. Like, he's won 5 Champions Leagues, bro.
But just longevity wise as well.
Like Modric, the players he come up with, Modric, Ramos, they all went for late 30s. So he has got a good point. But you're right, he shouldn't be digging them out. There's a balance.
He's making a very bold point.
Yeah.
But you can only validate that point in like 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it's very bold.
We'll see who rises to the top. But anyway, let's talk about talking about digging people out. One thing he did do was be very open about his critics. No, that was another super interesting take.
That was my favourite bit, bro.
Yeah, when he came out and said, there's a quote here where obviously he's talking about, he's talking about his relationship with Rooney. And I think it was further along in the interview.
Love it.
Piers asked him about
he had
money.
something for Rooney.
I don't know what he said.
He had something for him. Listen.
Yeah, Piers Morgan said to him, I'm just trying to work out how Wayne Rooney could hate you even more, and probably that's the answer, and talking about his money. And then Ronaldo replied, not only him, imagine the rest of the rats.
The rats. I called them rats.
I love it. Talk that talk, Chris. I love it.
He said, the ratones.
The initial chat was about Ronaldo responding to his critics. And to be honest, bro, I saw the clip that Rooney said, and Rooney weren't even talking too mad.
Wait, which one was it? Was it the TalkSport one, or was it?
I think it was the one for CNN where Rooney was just like, yeah, bro, he's aging, and like he's probably like Father Time catches us all, basically, is what he was saying.
Yeah, but you have to deep, right? Cristiano, like, I get all the madness, especially like the Euro 2004 madness with the wing and the sending off. I get all of that history and that. But I think Ronaldo sees it as like, yo, we were boys. Like, you're meant to back me. Like, when you're on a national platform, you're meant to have my back. I'm not meant to be hearing that from you.
Yeah, Rooney has stayed saying 1-2 things about Ronaldo. Never anything crazy, but he stayed saying 1-2 things about him before.
Just little, but like
I think them two have got beef, man.
You think?
Like, it stems from that kind of stuff.
There's
there.
a little, ooh. There's a
When
little
they were
bubble.
kids.
And because and because when they were Rooney was the guy, like he was 16, he banged the goal against Arsenal.
he
Do you
was
know what I
rated more
mean?
than
He was
Ronaldo,
on.
yeah.
He was already a man. Like he was the one.
Yeah.
And then these man just spent a little 13 million euros like off the summer. They stumbled across a friendly game against Sporting Lisbon. The man them said, "Yo, get him. Who the hell is that?"
Yeah.
And he kind of came in and stole Rooney's shine in it. But both of them two, like on the pitch, they work together. It is amazing. But I feel like they've always had like a little bit of
I like that,
competitive
though.
side by side thing
is
going
nice.
on in their careers.
Competition is great.
That is, and then obviously he came for Piers specifically mentioned Gary Neville as well.
Yeah.
So I think what that tells me about Ronaldo is he I know obviously you're saying he doesn't read the papers, etc. But he sees that.
He listens.
He listens.
I think that's what he mentioned. How he said they use my name, and I know what they're doing because when he joined, they all loved him. They said Cristiano's great.
Yeah.
Gary Neville was bigging it up, saying, "Yeah, I've been talking."
So
to
the
him."
Beatles are in town.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And now all of a sudden, it's get him out of the club. He's not good for the club. He shouldn't start. So Ronaldo saying,
the cheek.
do you know what I mean?
He said Neville's not my friend. I believe him.
Yeah.
I believe him.
Yeah.
I believe he was never his friend. I believe he was just a colleague.
Yeah. Like he never
Just a colleague.
rated
Let
him.
it, bro, them man don't come and link each other for dinner or their kids play with each other and it
Nah, 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 nah.
They weren't boys like
Wasn't it him that he blanked?
Yeah,
On the
yeah.
pitch? Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That tells you everything you need to know.
And I think sorry, bro.
Portuguese manners mean that you're meant to say hello to everybody.
Oh, really?
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
So he broke a
So
cultural
he broke the code.
Yeah,
So that tells you
deeper.
everything you need to know.
Yeah, I think for him, like you guys said, is he come up in the changing room with them and sort of like, I don't know, there's that unspoken loyalty, like don't badmouth me in the press because Ronaldo doesn't come out and badmouth them. So I don't know, man. I think they done him wrong a bit. I was sort of because Rooney was all saying Roy Keane wouldn't have what Ronaldo's doing. So I don't know, like would Roy Keane didn't he refuse to train for Man United because Fergie didn't play him or something? Then he
I believe so. Yeah,
he got his
yeah.
contract terminated. So Roy Keane would have done what Ronaldo done anyway. So
Maybe that's why he respects him so much.
Yeah.
I think, right, there's only so much you can take.
Yeah.
You got to listen to this day in, day out while your personal life is crumbling, by the way.
Yeah.
It was about time that he was going to say something.
Yeah.
They weren't ready.
Top athletes, top apex athletes are
Yeah.
also very sensitive and they use like criticism and stuff as fuel.
Yeah.
You see the
Look at,
you see
last
the
dots.
you see the Michael Jordan doc, fam. So everything he's taking
became
personally,
personal.
fam. Everything is personal,
Making
fam.
up situations,
Fam,
bro.
you know what I mean?
To the camera. Became personal to me.
Do you understand? It's like you were saying, but yeah, he was just making up shit just to motivate himself,
Yeah.
just to fuel himself to go out on the pitch or on the court or whatever and just do a madness.
It's a lonely place. It's a lonely place being that good, I think.
Being at the tap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's a tattoo I've got to get on me. It's a lonely place.
It's lonely at the tap.
Lonely.
Getting to the tap. Well, now, bro, to be honest, what do we think though about Ronaldo? Is let's just quickly talk about that before we move on to him like dissing the manager and stuff like that. But do we think he's obviously Gary Neville's point is like, yo, he's at this point he's kind of hindering the team's progress. Obviously Ronaldo sees it differently. Do we think he's hindering the team's progress? As in Man United's progression, obviously new manager, new style of play, young players kind of thing. Obviously they're trying to rebuild, but obviously like the way I see it is they're trying to rebuild, but they also have one of the best assets in world football to help them rebuild. But obviously, the stats suggest that on the pitch maybe it's not going so well. Do you know what I mean? Like, what do we think?
I think that going forward, I don't think it will have too many implications on the pitch. I feel like the most pressure will be on the manager.
Yeah, because now he's got no excuse. Now there's
Maybe
no excuse.
the media might come out with 1-2 questions. Yo, can Ten Hag handle a big personality? Ronaldo was the first big one that like he had to manage. Like he was managing in Ajax. It's easy to go and win the league over there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like you've come to England now and there's different, it's a bigger stage and there's different tasks and you might have to bring in big stars. Do you know what I mean? So can you handle them? And maybe Ronaldo was the first one that maybe was trying to make a little bit of an example of in certain situations and it just didn't backfire. But then I do feel like there was stuff that Ronaldo did that weren't, do you know what I mean, weren't legit, weren't in line. But I feel like going forward, I feel like the most pressure will be on the manager, and I think most questions will be asked about him. So it's just how he deals with that, blocking out all of that noise, and then just focusing on the players and performing on the pitch.
Yeah, I think
That's key.
with Ronaldo, I think he's he's such a big personality. Like I remember I watched the Juventus documentary when he was over there, and he used to, after training, just sit in the sun, and they'd go up to him and be like, what are you doing? Why are you sat on your own? He'd be like, the sun is good for vitamin D. It's good for recovery.
Vitamin D.
He'd be like, I don't know why anyone else isn't with me. In his head, he thinks if you're not following me, you're against me. That's why he had to leave Juve, because them man, it was too much. Like there's videos of him in the dressing room saying, this is the Champions League, you don't want to win.
I saw that,
You know
I love it. I love it.
He said, this is shit,
like, calm.
He's like, yo, chill.
Ronaldo's like, nah, bruv. Like, we need to win this game. Like, his urge to win is so much, it can be a bit disjointed.
Overwhelming.
It's overwhelming,
Some people just aren't ready. That's what I say to that.
The
some people
pressure's-
just aren't ready.
Is that why you were giggling when I was talking?
Do you know what? I was giggling because your introduction to that was so PC. You were like treading eggshells with how you introduced that. I was like,
I got a feature in broadcasting, mate.
I was like, nah, I love that. I love the
Jojo,
respect.
As a United fan, have you noticed it? Because me and Charles always say when Oba left, Arsenal went up, and I think Ronaldo's similar in terms of he's that big personality. All the young players
Admire him
adore
and stuff, yeah.
All the Arsenal youngsters love Oba. Would you say it's similar to Ronaldo?
So what I would say is, first and foremost, I call myself a Ronaldo fan first,
Yeah.
a United fan second.
That's disgusting.
Because I have to. It has to be done. It has to be done. It has to be done.
Coming like
It's the
NBA, you know how they follow
It's
players.
it's the truth. I know I'm gonna get heat for that as well, but it's fine. I'll say it. I'll say it with chest.
Tomato.
What I would say is don't underestimate. Personally, obviously, I'm not a football expert, but I would say don't underestimate the power that a personality like that can have in the dressing room. You know, you were talking about him in Italy in the dressing room and saying that, like, you need that. Like, you need someone who's going to hold you accountable. And that's why I was saying that I think in a United team, how are you going to have a Harry Maguire captain you?
Yeah.
Because a Harry Maguire, a captain, think about the purpose of a captain, right? Is to hold you accountable and to challenge you and to tell you when you're doing right and motivate you, but also to be like, yo, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, you need to up your game. Do we really think that Harry Maguire is doing that in that dressing room? No. And I think don't underestimate the moral power that a personality like Cristiano can have in a dressing room, behind the scenes, as well as on the pitch.
Yeah.
When it comes to the manager thing, though, I think... who is this guy?
Wow.
Like, who is he? No, but honestly, secondly, because I feel like...
we have our clip, ladies
No,
and
no,
gentlemen.
honestly, because secondly, like, when you bring a player like that on, it is obviously about tactics and getting that right, but it's also about managing personalities.
Yeah.
And he can't manage personalities because you know you're going to upset a Cristiano if you don't give him playtime.
Yeah.
So it's about finding
But
the
he's gotta
perfect
do it for the
balance.
team.
I hear that, but it's about finding the balance between, yo, how am I going to cater to this personality? And sorry, if it were anybody else, I wouldn't say that, but it is the best, one of the best players of all time that you've got here, yeah? So you manage that personality, irrespective of the team. Yeah.
Fair.
Secondly, you balance that. So you manage him, giving him what he wants with the rest of what's going on tactically, I think. And I don't think he found that balance.
So you
I think it was achievable. I don't think he found
He's
it.
complaining about mixed messages, isn't it, Ronaldo?
Yeah.
So you
That's
don't know
what
where
he
he
said.
stands.
True. And I tell you what, mate, that is
Said, what
perfect-
are we?
I'll tell you, mate, that's why you're my co-host.
Come on, mate.
Perfect way to segue into his comments on Eric Ten Hag. That was actually very interesting what you're saying, so no doubt we'll come back to it. But here is what he had to say, as in Ronaldo, in obviously the incident where he walked out against Spurs, which is funny. He said, you ever seen that meme of that, what's that show called? Super Nanny or something?
Yeah,
And the
yeah,
kid
yeah.
walks out, he said, where's my bacon? If you ain't giving me my bacon, I'm leaving. he gets his little...
You'll not see me in this town again.
That's what Ronaldo done that game. If I'm not coming on, I'm leaving.
You gotta respect it.
Yeah, you got to respect. That's so funny, man. But this is what he said in regards to him walking out again. He said, "It's something I regret. Probably, I don't know." He said, "Let's say I regret. I felt provoked by the coach. I will not allow a coach to put me in for 3 minutes. I'm not that kind of player. I know what I can give. He doesn't respect the way I should. He doesn't respect me the way I should. I deserve. But it is what it is. That is why probably the game against Tottenham, I left." And then he went to say, he always mentioned to me that I didn't need a preseason. I should wait for my opportunity. I say, okay, I understand. He doesn't do the same for every player. I won't mention players, but they don't do it the same way. So very scathing comments there.
Mention who? Ronaldo didn't name no names either, man.
He should have went for the
Say
neck,
some
innit?
names, bro. If you're gonna go out in a if you're gonna go out in a blaze of glory like this, name some names. Just drag everything, burn it all down.
So
love
obviously he was
it.
saying that maybe he slightly regrets doing that against. Obviously, he says he's human in it, even in the part he's talking about his personal life.
Yeah.
Obviously, he refers to obviously he's a human being, and
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
emotion gets the best of us. And he says maybe what when he said, let's say I regret it, maybe that's like him doing the PC answer.
Yeah.
But let's just take that for what it is. He regrets it. So
I think that's cap.
you think that?
Same. I think it is.
He was just saying
I
that
think
to
it
be nice. He'll regret that.
Yeah.
He said, now fuck this guy.
And I think it's interesting, because you know, like when we play like Sunday League football,
Yeah.
goals and stuff, and then you go there and sometimes you hear some of the man them. Like I know for example, this happened. I've seen this happen where man them come from a different level. They play and they be like, bro, why am I coming for 5 minutes? You only see that like at our level of
Yeah,
football. And, do you know what I mean?
yeah.
But it's very interesting for me to see, like obviously the top superstar say, bro, me bringing on me for 3 minutes.
In the
Are you
Premier League.
Yeah.
He even told the manager, nah.
Yeah.
He gave him that.
Yeah, but I said, no, I'm not coming on for 3 minutes, bro. Obviously, I think that's obviously one sign of those guys obviously having a frosty relationship. But
Can I just say, Bob, this is an insight into the power struggle in the dressing room. Sort of what Jojo touched on, whereas
Facts.
Ten Hag couldn't manage it. Because you see Arteta, I hate to keep going back to Arsenal, but it's so similar, yeah.
We're top of the league, course can.
Of course. Why wouldn't you go back there?
You can do that.
But we give Oba a new contract, didn't it? $350 a week. That was Arteta saying, cool, I don't really fuck with you, but you know what, for this,
You're the man, yeah.
You're the man, I got to manage you, you have
Yeah.
to play. Sort of what Jojo said, make it work. It stopped working for Arteta, he said, you're gone, but he managed it, and now look at where we're at. So the task for Ten Hag now is he couldn't manage Ronaldo, that's facts. The power struggle that you mentioned is similar to Maguire and Ronaldo, because if we're seeing him clash with the manager in public, imagine what he's clashing with Maguire.
Behind the
He's
scenes,
probably
yeah.
sticking it on Maguire.
He's
in the
never
changing
listened to
room.
Maguire.
Rightly
ever.
You know what I mean?
so.
He's
Ever.
probably sticking it on
Rightly
it.
so.
So we're seeing a public clash of personalities. And I just think Ronaldo, he wasn't happy with the structure of the club. He wasn't happy with the direction of the team. And his head's just gone. And Ten Hag was just a man. I think you could have put any manager there that wasn't
Oh, so it's
Zidane
like,
or
yeah,
Ancelotti. Any manager that it hasn't got that standing in the game like a Pep, Klopp, Ancelotti, any up-and-coming manager, he's not
He would've
really
got
having
caught.
it.
Yeah,
Because he's like, who are you, man, to me?
yeah.
I'm Ronaldo,
I'm
bruv.
suey, nigga. Yeah.
I think it's a pride thing. I think if when Cristiano arrived, he had changed it all up for him. It's almost like, oh, let me take a step back.
Yeah.
I think it's almost like a pride thing that, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm about to do things my way.
Yeah,
And I think almost to the team's detriment, because you're
Stand up.
constantly trying to prove that you are the top dog.
Yeah,
That the
yeah.
actual top dog who could actually do a thing for you, you're annoying
Yeah.
and pushing out.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I think it's a male pride thing there.
Interesting.
Just saying.
There's a female
the
perspective.
whole male race just got a shot
It-
there.
Oh,
I'm just saying, it's a
Jojo
power
just
struggle. It is.
Toxic masculinity.
It is toxic.
It
It
is
is toxic.
It is toxic.
What's
as
even
well.
more toxic is, sorry, I feel like I'm using the episode to like properly
Get your
at
shit off.
Maguire,
Get your
but
shit
I'm getting
off.
it off my chest. Have
it
you
off.
seen that clip of Maguire in the
With his big ass
in
head.
the tunnel doing absolutely nothing? And then Ronaldo comes in and he gives a little, oh, Cristiano's here, let me look like I'm doing something.
Yeah,
let me
yeah,
do a
yeah,
couple of
yeah.
jumping jacks. Let me
Yeah,
just
all those
pretend to get
little-
warmed up. All them things there. That just shows you the impact that Cristiano has. When he walks on, the energy changes.
Alpha male
And,
thing.
and them lot just don't know how to keep up with it.
Yeah, that is facts. I'll be real, bro. Like, if you're Harry Maguire, you're gonna be in awe of. Like, I
Yeah,
think
I'll be with any player.
I think we forget. Yeah, like, I think we forget who Cristiano Ronaldo is. Like, that is what it is. If he walks in this room now, we're gonna be.
Yeah, it's an aura thing. Yeah, it's
like,
an aura
he
thing.
could
Yeah,
walk
yeah,
into any room in the world. Most people are gonna know who he is. So
Love it.
I just think like them man just couldn't do it.
Love it.
Don't worry, mate. We're gonna come for you. Don't worry. Right now, it's like, yeah, Ronaldo. Don't worry, mate. We got something to say to you. Don't worry.
When do we get into the Arsenal? I hope Arsenal win the league.
Yeah, well,
section.
yeah. Oh, no. Anyway, right. Let me just read out the rest of his comments. Obviously, this is what he's saying about Manchester City. Obviously, Ten Hag didn't bring him on then. And he said, excuses, I don't want to criticize him. He can have different opinions from me. I respect that, but excuses all the time. He says things for the press, but the press say what they think is good to protect him and Manchester United. He keeps saying in the press that he counts on me and he likes me, blah, 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 but it's only for the press, 100%. So that also highlights that them man have got some beef going on behind the scenes. Now, I want to ask you man a question. Obviously, what Jojo's saying is right. Obviously, Ronaldo has this aura. He's Ronaldo in it. We don't even have to say more. But there is evidence to suggest that they do play better football and they have got more results when Ronaldo isn't in this team. So, who is in the right here? Mr. Ten Hag or Mr. Ronaldo?
I think Man United had a lot of.
Because it's like one of those things. Sorry to cut you. It's like one of those things in it. do we, like you man was saying about Uber, do we try and make it work with Uber for the benefit of the team? Or do you know which comes first, basically?
Yeah, I think for the good of the team. To be honest, yeah, in all of this whole thing, mistake number one was him going back there.
You think?
Like, mistake number one was him going back there in the first place.
Agreed.
Bro, Ronaldo, like Man United had a multitude of problems. And we saw how that panned out last year. They finished sixth. Ronaldo was there, and he was top scorer, and he was looking a little bit not as great as he was, but he was obviously, you know, his
bang goals,
his age, and you know what I mean, like his powers are diminishing a little bit, but he was still head and shoulders above all of them, man, dragging them forward. Scored what, like 24, 25 goals or whatever last year, but they had a lot of problems and a lot of things needed to be addressed. It's just that he was, and he was good for them, but he was also a problem. But at the same time, he's like the main thing. I think that's where in the interview he was referring to this black sheep thing. Is that like he was beneficial to the team, especially last year, but he was also a problem amongst problems. And maybe Ten Hag felt like, okay, that is the biggest problem amongst all of these problems that need to be addressed.
Directly affect.
Now, I think Charles I was going to disagree with you, but when I think about it, you might be right, because I don't think Ronaldo was part of the plan. I think Sancho's come in, and us little thinking Sancho's in the Prem, like,
it's going to get scary.
Like, Sancho's probably coming to United thinking, big boy contract, I'm the guy.
Varane at the back as well.
Varane at the back. 2 weeks later, the biggest player of all time, arguably, comes in the door. Man United legend. In Sancho's head, I think his confidence just went down, because similar positions, all the forward line, Rashford, Martial, Sancho, Dan James was there.
Oh,
yeah, they're all sort of just
superheroes like, come in, you know.
Yeah, I think their ego must have shrunk a bit, because they're like, I'm Sancho and this is Cristiano. So I think the ego went from, I'm Jadon Sancho, Man United signed me for 70 mil, they want me to come in, you know what I mean? Then, Ronaldo's back, so they must not really think I'm the guy, I'm just part of the...
Interesting, yeah.
I think a lot of Man United fans will tell you themselves, I'm sure if Kizza was here, he would tell you that the team played way better without Ronaldo in the team.
Interesting though, Charles, this point last year, under Oli, they had more points, one more point than they do now. So do they play better? Because I've done a bit of research, okay.
Different gaffer though.
You saw the little match week 16.
Yeah, I saw I had a 2 game. But I looked at it and I just said, is Ronaldo the issue, or do Man United just have no plan? Is it just Man United
or
have
is
no
it
plan?
Man United, the plan Man United have doesn't include Ronaldo?
See, this is where Ronaldo's talking about the mixed signals, because at the start of the season, Ten Hag was like, yo, he's in my plan. They should have just come out and said, we don't want you. If that was the case.
So speaking about all that, actually, all that stuff, what do you think about the stuff he was saying about like him not going to pre-season? They thought he was, you know, when he didn't say they thought he was lying, but you know when you tell your employer, yo, I'm sick, and they go, yeah, all right, I'll have the day off.
It was one of them ones. Yeah, it was one of them
I think
ones.
that's crazy.
I believe
that is
it.
crazy.
I don't think he's this type of guy to be. Then again, he has come out and good everyone that, but I don't think he's the type of guy to be like on edge. But maybe he is.
When it comes to the football thing, he's on it. He's on it.
And I think his family's his family, innit?
Yeah,
I don't think he'd obviously. I don't think he'd.
And this is the same Ronaldo that his wrist when Portugal, I think it was the Euros, and he had tendonitis in his knee,
in the World Cup, I think.
And he played through it, right?
Yeah,
this is the guy that injuries don't stop him. So you're right, family, it would have had to have been serious. So I believe him, and I believe he thought they didn't trust him, and they were like, because even the reports coming out saying Ronaldo wanted to move in the summer. Where did that come from? Did that come from inside the club? Ronaldo's told them, I'm not going to be back for pre-season. Someone's like, he's trying to get out. Rumours, come on.
Well, actually, talking about that, he said he had offers from clubs, and he said he had an offer from Saudi Arabia to play for 2 years for a total of £306 million.
Yeah.
Which he declined.
Yeah.
So I guess that speaks volumes of it.
Name the club. Name some names.
Wouldn't even know it.
Name some names. Listen, I don't deny that they got that kind of money out there in Saudi Arabia. That's probably true, but like, name some names, innit?
Nah, I reckon he got that offered. I think Saudi would, they'd pay any sort of figure for him.
Saudi, China, America, you name it.
They got money over there.
They just paid Usyk Joshua like 150 mil for a boxing match. Imagine what they're going to pay Ronaldo.
Yeah,
you know
I don't think he's capping that.
I think he would have. I think he could get that money in January after the World Cup. Easy.
Nah. So obviously there's so much more to talk about in this interview that I want to go on to what he was saying about about his future. And obviously, guys, is this it? Is this the end of the road, boys to men?
I think we're witnessing I think we've been witnessing the decline. Nah, you lot had to pull out the boys to men. I think we're witnessing the decline, man. I've been seeing it.
Ooh, I was just talking about his time at Man United, but
oh no. I think we're fully. He's reached his peak. It's downwards from
he's been
here.
on decline.
1000%, we're witnessing his decline.
Been like that.
And I think I'm not gonna I'm gonna speak very openly here. I think this, to some extent, has tarnished his legacy. But
From you, Joe?
I know.
Wow.
But what I will say is, if you think about other big names, I feel like every superstar had the thing that happened towards the end of the career. Whether it was Zidane and the headbutting or Figo switching up sides. I know he then went on to do a madness at Real and all that. But I feel like every superstar player had a thing. And this is Ronaldo's thing.
The Mafia was putting pressure on Maradona back in the day. The Mafia, bro.
I was talking about that
The
yesterday.
Mafia, bro.
Come on, the Mafia.
You know what I mean? Everybody, you're right. Everybody has
thing,
big controversies and stuff that you know puts a little stain on their career. But on the pitch, like no one's gonna. I think that's what's gonna win in the end. Do you know what I mean? Somebody like that's only just been gone recently, like Zidane, let's say.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's the thing with the headbutting, but like these days,
Other
no
than
one's
that,
no one's really
That's
no
a
one
blip.
Yeah,
get
no
it.
one-
No one's really bothered about. That's Zidane, bro.
1000%.
and to be fair, when you look back in context, you'll be like, to be fair, Man United were fucked up at that point.
Yeah,
100, yeah.
So he was just the nigga to come out and say, yeah, they're fucked.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And
that's interesting for
I
you, though.
respect it. I respect it. I don't think anybody. I think the whole thing that's going on with the Glazer family. I think someone with a platform. It had to be Cristiano to come and call them out. No one else was going to have the vim, the audacity, the platform, the influence, the confidence,
The balls.
to come out and be like, yo.
However,
it's messy.
I do think Ragnick touched on a little bit about what Ronaldo was saying.
Yeah, shout Ragnick as well.
But it didn't really hit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Nah, because who's he?
So Ronaldo's come on with Piers Morgan and they're doing 5 million views, and do you know what I mean? Like certain people that don't even like football like that will sit down because they know Ronaldo and they go, yo, Man United's kind of fucked up, you know. I don't even know nothing about football, fam. So it's it will hit even more.
And it's funny when Ragnick come out and says, bro, if they don't need operation, they need open heart surgery.
Do you know what I mean? Ragnick was saying some stuff.
Yeah, he was, bro.
I think if Ronaldo does well at the World Cup, he said he's going to retire if they win it. I'd love Messi, Ronaldo, Argentina, Portugal final. That is just
lovely.
Yeah, that'd be
It's just
lovely.
very good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Like, I hope it happens.
That's
but
only happening on FIFA, man.
Yeah, it's not,
Kick off on FIFA. That's what we're doing. I don't know if that will happen, but that would be lit.
but who don't make it?
Ooh. Who don't make what?
Argentina or Portugal? He said it only
Ooh.
happens in FIFA. Who do you think? What you
I
said?
think
Ronaldo can't do it?
Argentina just
Argentina, man.
pinch it.
I think Argentina will.
Messi
Sadly.
to tie up his legacy.
So if you manage-
Says the Liverpool.
I think Argentina are more likely to get there. I feel like Portugal are a
Portugal
little
are a sneaky team, though.
They're very good
but bro,
defensively.
we said that in the Euros, fam.
Yeah, we did.
We've been
Yeah.
like, I feel like Portugal are one of them teams that like where we do say pretty much all the time. Even when they had like Figo and Rui Costa and all them man, like
golden
you look at them man like, yo, they got a team, you know, but they like.
No, you
They
were saying
fumble at the last step.
you were saying this time around, or actually, well, last year, obviously to the Euros, you were saying that back home, the man them aren't too happy with the gaffer, right?
Yeah. They haven't been happy with him for a while.
Is
I
that
feel like
Santos?
yeah, Santos is a bit. I feel like it's very 50-50. I feel like he's very love-hate, but in the recent kind of year, 2-3 years, ever since the Euros, I feel like people are like, all right, we're ready. You got us our first trophy. Like, to think that that's our first trophy, by the way, when we had the Rui Costa, the Nuno Gomez, the
Yeah,
Luis
yeah,
Figo,
yeah.
do you know, all them man playing
that Nuno
on
Gomes?
one team. Like, to think that that was our first trophy, but I think people are very much like, we need a new
Refresh.
someone in to come in and take all that young talent to the next level.
Yeah.
It's a bit
for sure.
Southgate-ish.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Portuguese Southgate.
But instead of the waistcoat, he's got the cigarette.
Yeah.
Shout out my guy. Now, quickly, just a couple things to wrap up on this. What he said about Messi was very nice, wasn't it?
That was nice.
Yeah.
That was
Oh,
cute. That was cute.
Yeah, he said he's magic. He's an amazing top player.
I've been saying
We
that.
shared the stage, me and him. I remember
but-
that interview at the Ballon d'Ors. I was like, oh, this is going.
Yeah, that was it.
I love it.
You know what I thought interesting? What he said, he was like, as you know, the records chase me. I don't world chase
Oh,
record.
that was cold. That was
I
cold.
said,
You
you
get
know-
bodied by a singing nigga.
That was a bar.
That's
That's a bar.
Okay,
I love it.
That's a bar.
CR.
Yeah, I said, see ya, nigga, see ya.
That's a bar. Yeah, at this point in his career, he's only ever gonna. I think for a long time he's been saying like good stuff about Messi.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
They
like,
love each other, man.
they actually
fully.
do.
They need each other,
Yeah,
bro.
they
They actually
do.
need each other.
They do.
But I feel like, sorry, just to jump in there, I feel like that shows you obviously we don't need anything to show us the caliber of player that Messi is, but how you respond to competition speaks volumes about you as an individual.
Yeah.
So like Ronaldo and Messi have been like feeding off each other for years. The rivalry is what gets them
15 plus
going. Do you know
years,
what I'm
man.
saying? It's been amazing. That's what should have happened when a Ronaldo steps into the dressing room at United. No player should have been wounded by, he's stealing my limelight. You should have taken that on board and been like, time to prove myself. And that tells you everything you need to know about the United players on that squad.
Yeah. Facts. That's facts, bro.
Scathing.
I'm telling you, Ronaldo back at United works if them man just lift. And I'm not saying it's
Elevate.
easy. I'm not saying it's easy.
No.
They also brought a load of his old boys in. They brought Casemiro in and Varane, and they're just running back Madrid, bro. They just brought back all the man them because all these McTominay and that they can't stand next
I just
to
think
Ronaldo,
I think
man.
to actually we'll summarize that after this, but because I just want to touch on what you man were saying.
Go on.
Come on.
But yeah, this is the quotes that he said. Manchester first, and obviously, if not, Arsenal is some team I like to see play. I like the team. I like the coach. I think they have a good team. And if Manchester United don't win the Premier League, I'll be happy. If Arsenal do,
Piff.
Bob, can I
Love
just
that.
ask Charles?
Piff.
Would you be happy? And Bob, I want to know neutrally, do you think it'll work? And Jojo,
Yeah,
obviously,
I know where you're going.
He's been at United. Does Ronaldo go to Arsenal? And if he does,
6 months loan.
6 month thing, he likes to coach and that he likes to coach. 6 months, does it work or does it just ruin everything, Charles? Tell me, bro.
He's a problem, right? He's a problem.
I'm running.
Part of me
I'm
wants
running.
it. Part of me wants
But
it.
Well, apparently it was meant to happen. It was meant to happen
Yeah, obviously all the way back in the day.
Yeah.
Obviously Wenger saw him. Shout out Papa Wayne.
Arsene, come on.
Is that Kevin Keegan? I would love it.
Oh,
I would love it.
I would love it.
Bro, I can't lie. Terms and conditions, yeah. Off the bench,
Yeah.
pay cut. We're not paying $500,000 a week.
Yeah, cut that way.
Pay cut off the bench, yeah.
But jokes aside, in reality, does that work or would it just ruin it? Because we're saying, me and Jojo are saying he's got a high level. Arteta's on this. If you don't train this way, you're out. Oba out. Laka out. So
Yeah.
would Ronaldo make
Mesh into
Arteta? Would he mess it up or would he just lift it?
I think, yeah.
I think you guys got a good thing
Charlie.
going on, man.
Yeah, I don't think you wanna spoil it with that because you
It's
know
one of
what.
those. It could work. It could not. But if it's a risk,
It's too-
maybe
And
not worth it at
then
this point.
there might be a moment where I think it's similar to this Ten Hag thing. Yeah, there's definitely been moments where Ronaldo's looked at Ten Hag sideways, like, yo, who are you? If anything, yeah, Arteta's got less experience than Ten Hag. At least Ten Hag has won something in another country and Champions League run, and do you know what I mean? Like people kind of know who he is.
But Charles, you see, I think Ronaldo looks at Ten Hag and thinks you've not even played at the top level. I think he looks at Arteta as a Dan Lees man.
Maybe.
Ancelotti's like, you know
whoa! Don't slip Arteta into this play that top
Yeah.
level. They think he play for Everton, fam.
He played Champions League of us. Champions League of us.
when
He's
I
won.
say
He's
group
won.
stages,
He's won something with us. He's won something with us.
when I say top
You know what I
level,
mean?
I mean like,
with something.
I mean he's played in the Champions League.
That's cheeky,
No,
man.
I'm not saying Arteta. Let me clarify. Arteta's not legendary as a player. No way. But he's played at the top level.
Yeah.
He's played.
He's
there.
played Champions League and all that.
Yeah.
So that's nice. But yeah, shout out Arsenal. All right, guys. Quick summary on this interview. What do we think, man? I was going to say something really good before, and then we went to talk about Arsenal, and now I can't remember what I was going to say. So I shall try and freestyle this and say, what are our summaries from this interview? Do we obviously we know Ronaldo's finished, but what do we think his next steps are, man?
Whoa. Watch the phrasing, my
He's
guy.
finished at Man United.
All right.
So yeah, obviously these men talking about they want to sue him. They're taking down murals of him.
Do it.
They want
Do it.
The man
cancel
ripped
his
his
contract
contract
bigger
off
than
the
your
side
club.
of the
Ripped his
stadium.
post
Do
off
it.
the side of the
damn.
What do we
Do
say?
it.
What's next for him, man? What do we think?
Can I tell you what I would like to see? It's not going to happen.
America.
I don't.
Sporting.
I really don't want to see him go back to. I don't want to see him in America. I don't. That would break my heart, man.
Sporting?
That would break my heart. I would love to see him return to Sporting Lisbon. We can't even afford
Sporting Lisbon.
whatever he puts on his rider. Like we can't afford it. But the fairy tale would be for him to return to Sporting
Marcus
Lisbon.
Edwards link up cold.
Oof.
Pedro Gonçalves.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, that
Love
would be
it.
Good
sick.
knowledge.
Yeah.
Now, I think he said in the interview, unfortunately, that Sporting was never really a thing. I think just because of, like I feel like that
Sad,
happens
man.
a lot.
Very sad.
I feel like that happens a lot. That kind of rumor of like a player might be getting old, he might go back home to his first club or something like that.
And it
That
don't
kind of
happen.
full circle story. I think that runs with a lot of players in it. So they probably was running that with him, but Sporting can't afford that.
No,
like,
no
if
way.
we're being realistic.
Isn't the training ground called the Cristiano Ronaldo Training
Lol.
Centre or something?
Well, I mean,
Haven't they named the whole training?
Put some respect on Sporting Lisbon because through their academy, Luis Figo come out of that academy,
Yeah, ballers,
Cristiano
yeah.
came out of that academy.
Bruno Fernandes.
Bruno Fernandes.
Bruno Fernandes.
You know?
So what do you think, man? Ronaldo, right or wrong? For this
Bit of both.
Bit of both, yeah.
Bit of both. It was
hero or villain?
Hero.
A bit of both.
Anti-hero.
A bit.
Hero.
Ooh, love
Sacrificed
that.
himself for the good of the world.
Love that.
A bit of both.
I think tragic hero. I think every
Tragic?
tragic hero has a fatal flaw, and the tragic hero has a fatal flaw, and I think his has come out a little bit. His sensitivity's come out a little bit, but
He's definitely a little bit hurt, isn't it?
yeah, he is.
He's hurt.
He's
He's
wounded.
hurt.
He's wounded, but he's bigger than this, and he'll come back.
What
He
was,
will come back.
what was
Sue me, nigga.
Bob, what was interesting, he said he felt humiliated. Piers sort of led him into saying it.
Yeah.
But he said, I felt humiliated. So he's emotionally hurt in it. It's like his heart's been broken almost. That's what it looks like. Like the club he fell in love with isn't the club. Well, it's still the same club.
This is what happens. You go back to your ex. Did you know what I'm saying? You run back to
it's
the
going
ex.
to be the same. Maybe just move on. Yeah,
You know
maybe.
what I mean?
That's,
He was
That's what it
making-
is.
He was making mistakes on his part, but there are certain instances where I do feel like where I don't think he's fully playing the victim, but I think he's playing it a little bit. You know what I mean? Because there are certain bits where he's definitely justified to feel like like Ten Hag mocked it, or the club don't care, or these kind of things. So a little bit of both. The whole situation was messy though, and I love it. I love it. Man United just a whole media mess.
Just as they were getting
a
a bit
whole
comfy.
media mess.
Yeah,
I'm
I love
enjoying
it.
it.
Ronaldo's
He just
just self-destructing. He's just blown the whole
he
thing
said,
up.
he said, yeah, you man
Love
enjoying
it.
yourself, yeah?
Bruv.
What's this?
Without me.
Without me?
Watch
You don't want
this.
me involved?
All right, guys. Well, there we have it. Go on, Charles. What you gonna say?
Mate, I was gonna say the main problem at Man United is the Glazers, innit? All now they're still in charge.
Yeah, he's right. Yeah, Glazers is the root of this problem.
All now they're still in charge. I don't know if this thing like going forward. I don't know if it means that the Glazers are. I don't know if they're feeling embarrassed by this whole thing because Man United
They
are
don't care.
in
They don't
worldwide
care,
league. Do you know
bro.
what I mean?
Yeah, they're in the
I don't
States
think.
chilling, fam.
I'm not sure this is the thing that will force them out. So
Charles,
yeah.
Nah, this is just the seed.
Yeah,
they're still in charge.
But I think their stocks probably went up after this. Think about how many people are talking about Manchester United. That raises everything.
That's true.
Maybe.
They're loving
Yeah,
this.
man. Either way, they win, innit? So they get a piece. But anyway, guys, that was the Cristiano Ronaldo interview. What was it? You must see the Talk TV thing. Breaking news, scathing interview. Piers Morgan.
Uncensored.
Ronaldo said this. But yeah, anyway, guys, we have to talk a little bit about the World Cup as it is here.
Let's do it.
So we're going to take a quick break and hit some quick hits with this World Cup, and then that will be a wrap for today. But guys, make sure you catch us on the other side. Let's go.
Benched. Brought to you by 14HQ.